Okay, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about Kamala Harris being on The View. Now, she just did an interview on 60 Minutes, and it was a total disaster. So, the one on The View was not any better. She answered a few questions, but we want to get into a couple things, a couple questions that they asked her today. Now, the first one was about Hurricane Milton and the relief that FEMA is providing. So, let's listen to this question and her answer. Then we'll look up some other information.
Storm
Yeah.
barreling towards my state of Florida,
Yeah.
a place that's still reeling from Hurricane Helene. Trump is lying, claiming that the Biden administration is intentionally withholding aid from the areas where Republicans live and that FEMA funds are being redirected to migrants. Ironically, that is something he did in 2019.
Okay, so they're trying to say Trump directed funds from FEMA in 2019. All right, so let's go over some information here on what happened with the Trump administration back in 2019. So to get the full picture, let's start from the beginning. What's going on with Trump? So Trump border requests. A new innovation in FEMA food and shelter programs emerged during the Trump administration in 2019. So Trump had requested a $4.5 billion emergency supplemental package to deal with humanitarian and security crisis at the southern border. The largest price was nearly $2.9 billion for the Department of Health and Human Services Office of Refugee and Resettlement Care for children who cross the border unaccompanied by a guardian or parent. So after 2 months of negotiation between the Democrats and the GOP Senate, they reached a deal for a $4.6 billion package that kept the core funding for the migrant children while making various additions and subtractions to other parts of the request. Okay, in addition, there was a $30 million initial request by the late Senator Dianne Feinstein for FEMA for grants to local government and nonprofits providing humanitarian aid to migrants. Okay, the GOP agreed on the 30, but the House wanted 60, but they agreed on 30. Okay, so one big omission from Trump request was money to expand immigration and custom enforcement detention capabilities that led to other funding shuffles. Now, it says here the Department of Homeland Security used reprogramming and transfer authorities providing the fiscal 2019 Department of Homeland Security spending law to pull 116 million from various agency departments and use it for those ICE detention and removal activities. At the same time, the department pulled 155 million from FEMA Disaster Relief Fund to expand border courtroom facilities under Trump remain in Mexico policy of requiring migrants to wait in Mexico while their asylum cases were adjudicated. FEMA at the time said there was plenty of money in the account and the disaster relief efforts were unaffected. So FEMA had plenty of money then when Trump got the 155 million for them to remain in Mexico policy, which is a policy that Biden got rid of once he took office. So, but let's listen to Karine Jean-Pierre because another statement was made saying the Biden administration didn't take money from FEMA. But we're going to listen to what she had to say because she made two statements, one in September 2022 about it and another one in October 2024. So let's just take a listen.
It's just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Okay, so you heard it there. First, they were saying in 2022 that Biden did take money from FEMA for migrants. Then she said in 2024 that Biden didn't take money from FEMA for migrants. So she's backflipping, just like Kamala did in a lot of her questions. Now, Kamala also answered some other questions about what she would do different. And she said nothing. And she became president, and she said she would do nothing different. But we just want to look at a couple things here. And one thing we want to look at is focus on gas prices. So if you look at gas pricing, when Trump came in office back in 2017, the price of gas was $2.53 a gallon. Okay. And the highest it got while Trump was in office in 2018 was $2.81. That's far less than what we're paying right now. When Biden came to office in 2021, after the pandemic, price of gas was $3.30 a gallon. The highest it has been so far since Biden's been in office, $4.06 a gallon. That's the average price per gallon. Okay, now we have been buying gas from other countries, Russia, Venezuela, and because the price of gas is costing us from other countries, that means the cost of everything is going up here in our country. Food, shelter, gas, everything is going up because it's tied to the price of gas. And the reason the price of everything is so high because one, we're not drilling. If we start drilling, because we have more than enough oil here in this country, it'll bring the cost of everything down. Well, let's go here in 2024. In January 2024, the average price of gas per gallon was $3.19. Now, let's go to September 2024. The average price of gas is $3.33. That's average. Some places could be more, some places could be less, but that's the average. But just think, Trump came in office 2017, January, price of gas was $2.45. $2.45, a whole lot different than $3.33. Okay, a whole lot different. More gas in your car and have more money to do other things. This is a couple of things we just want to go over what Kamala was talking about and what she was saying. A lot of stuff, they asked her questions. She gave this typical answer, about this person was a second mother to her, small business, but she never said how she's going to, her so-called spending plan or her so-called plan to help the economy or her so-called plan to help small businesses. She's never really given an answer. And remember, Kamala was the border czar, but the borders are wide open. Everybody, anybody come across the border. So this is a couple things I just want to go over today. Like I said, you listen to the full interview is available on The View, and also the full interview for 60 minutes you can listen to. That's available also. You get a chance to take a listen to those interviews. Tell us what you think. And again, have a great and wonderful day, and we'll talk to you on the next one. All right, have a good day.